meant at all. Risley, you got what Paimon meant, right?
Hmm? I'm a little confused, actually.
Hey, not you too!
Jokes aside, I've got some good news. After taking a look, the doctors have let me know that it shouldn't be too difficult to extract the thorns, which means that everyone should be able to recover after a period of rest. As for their mental recoveries, most are making good progress as well. We've added a few who were more severely affected to a special observation list.
You sure got everything taken care of, Risley.
I try my best. After all, it's my duty to take care of everything that happens within my territory. Please, go ahead. That's a bit of a long story. I once had a similar experience. It had to do with the host family I lived with as a child. I was an orphan, adopted by a couple with a great deal of love in their hearts. I had many siblings, and we all adored each other. Once we were older, Mom and Dad would turn us over to be individually adopted by families of greater means, and go on to adopt more young children. They were perfect parents. Or so I thought.
And then?
And then, I found out we were merely raised as livestock. Once we had reached a certain age, our parents would bring us to the market for sale. All children that were sold would leave the house, and nobody would know what became of them. As for those who didn't sell, they were merely disposed of. Did you know I once considered myself an extremely lucky child? And all of my friends, all of my siblings, they all felt this way as well. I was also not the first to find out about the truth. All those who found out before me were simply added to the disposal pile. I could never shake the feeling of irony every time I juxtaposed their tragic ends against our parents' adoring smiles. Yes, like the society, my parents created a facade of joy, lied to satiate their desires, and even employed incredibly cruel methods to keep their grasp on power. They did all of that, but never considered how their actions would utterly ruin all the children they took under their wing. Worse, perhaps they never cared about that at all. But I did. So in the end, I killed them and set all of the remaining children free. I was convicted for my crimes and exiled to the fortress of Meripede.
Ah!
My methods were extreme, yes, but I was still a teenager at the time. I'd been betrayed by those I trusted most, and I didn't think that more moderate ways would solve the problem. My doubt and helpless anger pushed me forward until I got what I deserved. It's all right. You don't have to tell me what you think. I've already committed to this path, regardless of what anyone may say about it. The least I can do is to make sure that the same tragedy will not happen again in my new home.
Sorry to disturb you, everyone.
Oh, it's Avis and Fasol! Are you two feeling better yet?
It was all because you arrived in time. I managed to escape unscathed.
We came here on impulse today, because we were hoping that you'd be able to lend us a hand, Your Grace.
Please, go on right ahead. I'll do my best to help. Within reason, of course.
It's... I'd like to be wedded to Avis here at the fortress.
You're getting married?
Yeah, we met each other through the society and both fell into Dugier's trap. But even during our time there, we never doubted each other. We always believed that Dugier was manipulating us, trying to make us mistrust each other. And after this incident, we've come to believe that we've found the one for the rest of our lives.
You could say we managed to make the best out of a bad situation. He didn't abandon me, and I didn't forsake him either. But we're still both prisoners. And we also aren't sure if the fortress is the best place to host something so celebratory. So we are just wondering, is our request a bit too out of line?
You're right in that the fortress has never hosted a wedding before. But that's no reason to say no, is it? I'll help you make the arrangements. If you need anything special shipped in from the surface, just say the word.
We can't thank you enough, Your Grace. We are actually also planning to stay here after the conclusion of our sentences.
Yeah, we've already made tons of special memories here. So now it'd be too hard to leave. And we have full confidence in the fortress's future with you at the helm, Your Grace.
Your trust is the highest form of praise.
Hey, loosen up a bit. Shouldn't you be the happiest man in Teyvat to hear that people would like to stay of their own free will?
Yeah. I'll always take a genuine expression of faith over any obligation to obey.
Take this!
Ad Astra Abyssal. Thank you for complete.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Just as expected of Master. I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
Whoa, her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh. What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway, do go on, Shenhe.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
To me, they are both, Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the Master that I respect and adore.
Huh. One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity of your estimations. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit. Yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got, like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
I'll try my best.
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machines.
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah, a lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears. Granny, why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Huh. Have we met before?
No.
'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people act... Right, that's what Paimon was thinking. Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning. They died young. It's just me and Granny now. Oh, but it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid.
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about...
You're tough too, Granny. Plus you're...
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. I remember now. It was a dream.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But you know,
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear, and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
Huh, you're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now, my younger self.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, Fate must have brought us together. You may leave this situation to me.
Are you sure? So, what are your names?
Paimon's Paima.
Just Shenyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back?
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Shenyun, what exactly can we do to help out this granny? All we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain streams.
Okay, taking that as a no.
I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny was a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinto knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want, I'll just get a few different things.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler? Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Always wanted to try this place.
Eat to your heart's content. Today,
The food is unbelievable.
Leo's really got a lot.
Everyone, please eat to your heart's content. Today, try your luck betting on Jade?
La la la.
it's you two. What brings you here?
Shincho! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone, but considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Thanks a lot, Shincho. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Shincho, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Qingyun Peak. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her. You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that she became extremely ill. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Shincho. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar? Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Shincho, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or digging canals. So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyan and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
I can't wait to see my adorable daughter again.
What goes on in the minds of the Tishi?
I have recorded the tune that you